I didn't use it when we originally installed it because I knew I was going to do something along... What the... Of course, leave it to me to put a pre-crushed one back in the frickin'... Well, you know what? I'm going to blame this on someone else, but it's most more than likely me. I can't be any happier. This thing is, it's fast. Alright, so we got the rig back in the shop today, back in the dungeon, and we are tearing apart the center console and doing a bunch of wiring upgrades. We are getting headsets, we are getting mud flaps, we are getting some power receptacles in some place, and a rear view camera. So all of that is laid across the table right here. We've got the rugged radio set. We got over-the-head headsets for the front. We've got helmet headsets for the kid in the back because he should be wearing a helmet. We've got the top mount for the radios. We're only doing the intercom at first. We're got the 696 here plus, so that'll give us radio and everything. 6-foot leads in the front, 12-foot leads in the back. Audio cables, so you guys can hopefully get better audio. That was one of the big reasons. That's how I sold it. We've got a backup camera set up with a mirror that shows everything and a forward camera. So we're going to be running that. We got that for a present. We got our power. It gives me a digital and some outlets. And then we have our Rockbox kit here. I like this, but the one thing I have heard about it is that these wear after a while. So what we're doing is making templates that you can't really see in the box that it came with so that we can cut ourselves out new ones if we come down to it. We can always get material to cut it out of. So we're going to go ahead and get that going as well. It comes with brackets. All of the hardware and everything for everything looks really cool so far. Tons of hardware, good hardware, brackets, everything looks fine. So we'll get this thing torn apart and down to basically what we need to do for that is take out both of the seats in the front, all of the center console panels, and probably one more seat in the back so we can put that camera lead all the way to the back of the rig. I'm gonna end up mounting that for the time being up underneath here somewhere because our back fascia's gone. Or I might put the back fascia back on. Not really sure. Right, so we got to strip down. As you can see, it actually didn't take that long. We pulled 3 of the seats, all the little panels. That's all pretty quick. The roof comes right off. The windshield came right off. The worst part is lifting the seats out. Actually, the worst part is disconnecting the harnesses. That part sucks. So I got the back seat out for the first time ever. It's not a very big space. Not a very big battery. So yeah. There is, however, tons of room for activities. You can get a much better look at where we put the thermostat and ran everything for our heater setup, which I still like. I want to put a little bit of some sort of sacrificial something in there to help with that, but I like having it inside the rig. It's made the run shorter, I think. I don't know. I like having it. We'll see if I continue down the road. Anyhow, so we've got the center console off right here. We'll be putting our rugged radio set up right here on top of the dash. I believe it covers and hides all of this. So we'll probably be relocating our cigarette lighter as well. So we're also adding in a switch right here, which is going to fix our problem with having this one a little too close to there. So we've got a little distribution block or whatever for some USBs and whatnot we can put there. And then we'll run all of our wiring in and out the back. So what we realized is that the new kit displaces our cigarette plug, DC plug. What would you call that?
I would call it a cigarette lighter, but most people these days would probably call it a DC plug.
It's because you're so old.
I am old, man. Just had a birthday.
So, pulling this center console because I wasn't planning on getting in here, but now we're getting in here. Any idea how to get this frickin' plug out of here?
The opposite way it went in.
I didn't put it in, it came that way. There it is. You're good, that's not where the problem was. Alright. So we lost one of these. It dropped right on top somewhere. You want to check that out. Alright, so that's what you got to do to take the bottom from the top loose. And then, hey, if you look right here.
Right where?
Up inside. Unplug it. Alright, see how you got a pinch on the top and a pinch on the bottom?
Nope, because I have lots of glare.
Alright, well, you'll see it once I pull it out.
Now I can see.
Yeah. Problem is, it's very tight. So we're going to get some pliers and get it out of there, but that's how you do it.
What we're doing is getting the plugs ready that go into the intercom system. You can see the blue thing sitting over there. Brian decided to drill some holes up top. That's where they'll sit. Reason being is if you put them into the storage thing that we use all the time, it's going to take up some space and it can get water in there. Not so good. And you can see this will come and sit like that or lean back like that. We got some options. But now I have to take all these cords, follow it all the way up to get it up into the brains of the stuff.
This is going to be our record audio for our headsets. So all the headset audio will go through here. So I ran this up here so our camera that sits over here, it can probably be in a terrible spot actually now that I just thought about where I put it. So no, that's not going to work there. All right, come back later. All right, so we're relocating the 12 volt outlet. The problem we ran into is with our new Rugged Radio kit. It moves, well, it basically covers it up. So Rugged Radio didn't send me anything to relocate it. I did piece the kit together though, so that could have something to do with that. But the Ice Crusher kit does have that set up. So I didn't use it when we originally installed it because I knew I was going to do something along, what the? Of course, leave it to me to put a pre-crushed one back in the frickin', well, you know what? I'm going to blame this on someone else, but it was more than likely me. So now our 12 volt switch is going to be right here. Our 12 volt plug will be right there. So what I'm doing is we also added in this 12 volt USB setup right here and USB-C and a little voltage meter. We added that in right here to really tie it all together, and we're going to run both of them off of the extension we've made, essentially.
You don't have a lot of clearance on that.
No, everything is very twant.
Purpose?
Yep.
What?
Well, I mean, we like it tight, right?
That metal housing is going to be nice for the magnet mounts.
I know, for the cameras. The problem is the winter is what worries me. We almost need to come up with two different camera configurations, essentially, yeah. And I did make it the cheapest we could. Obviously, that's the reason we don't have a freaking radio in here. But for what we're doing, we don't need a radio right now. I mean, the same could be said for, we don't really need a intercom, but I think I'm gonna like having the intercom for the videos, so it's kind of my idea. I don't know, we'll see.
Okay.
Because I can hear myself, I think.
All right, why did we decide to put them down here?
Because I thought that was a good spot for him.
Oh, I heard you for a brief minute.
So you heard me, but now you can't hear me?
Now I can hear you.
But I can't hear you.
You can't hear me.
No.
Better?
Nope, hold on. How about now? Try now.
No.
Okay, now I hear you.
Now you hear me?
Put your mic a little closer to your...
Hello.
Oh, okay, okay, so we need to...
Do what?
Can you hear me?
No.
Let's see if I can find the Bluetooth for it.
Fancy, fancy.
Settings. Bluetooth. How do you pair with this thing? Any idea?
Do they make these things called directions?
Is because there's no wind noise and we're inside and it's quiet, it's having a hard time separating us behind ambient noise because there's not much any.
What to see?
I don't know. I mean, I'm no scientist.
But we're going to experiment on a ride later.
Oh, yeah. All right, so we'll get to that. We're going to check this footage and then button some stuff up. I mean, realistically, we don't have a lot of stuff left. zip ties, and then we'll show you the final wire installation down there, and then put the covers on. Up here's done. It's that one little cover, and then the front of this all goes back on.
All right.
This thing, I'm kind of
back to the winch.
Dealing wherever it's going to be is where it's going to be.
Yep, we'll figure that out. And
yeah, I dig it.
There.
What about this bracket?
It's a through bracket, essentially, because there's a hole there in the arm. And so it's got rubber bushings on the middle, 2 brackets and some gaskets and all kinds of other cool stuff. And then it just squeezes them together. Oh, hi. Hi there. How you doing? So I'm over here doing the other one right now. But they supposedly will work real nice. I didn't want the knockdown ones because I didn't think they were going to work all that good for what we want to do. The knockdown ones don't actually have any protection inside of the swing arm, right where I'm at, or the, whatever you want to call this thing, trailing arm. These ones do, and I'll show you guys what that looks like once we're done. But right now we're just getting these brackets on pretty quick and easy, and then go from there.
We have the rugged plugs for the back through there, which came down. Out through the back, I put the rear view mirror wire. Putting all their extra wire kind of bundled up in there underneath the storage area in the back. There's room. Go through there. Turned out that the corrugated wire always has electrical wires in it, so I followed that all the way up and zip tied there and zip tied around. Came on up through there. You can see we have the rugged intercom plugs up through there. Got those kind of separated from the other wire there. So there's a little slack that's given. Nice and zip tied. Taught to cut really close to the edge so you don't cut your finger later. Apparently that's a thing. So then the wires went all back through there and up into there. And we're slowly starting to get everything closed up. We did follow one of the wires across through the frame here, like we used to put the camera, and then that's going to follow up through the frame up to the rear view mirror camera. So for the first time wearing, not bad.
You did good.